It is time to add to your unconscious resource banks and toolkits once more. A new metaphor for you today, a new story. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, you can become more and more intently focused on the sound rather than the words, letting the sound of my voice flow into and through your mind, but perhaps not paying all that much attention to the words that you hear. You don't have to pay attention to the words because your unconscious mind has already been alerted and is listening more and more carefully with each passing second. So just settle back and let my words wash over you like sunlight on a warm summer's day. And in your imagination, you can find yourself walking along a forest path in a somewhat hilly section of country. I don't know what country your unconscious mind will pick, for I don't know what part of the world you, my listener, are in. But wherever you are, you can look up and see the canopy of the forest, with its leaves all dappled by motes of sunlight. An occasional stray beam manages to make it to the forest floor, but for the most part, the forest is cool and half-lit, enough for you to see the trunks of trees, the dead leaves on the ground, and occasional small animals scurrying about. Perhaps one crosses your path as you walk, and every step you take takes you closer and closer to a hypnotic state in which the world fades away and the scene I describe becomes more and more real, more and more concrete. The path slopes gently upward, and as it does, the trees thin, becoming younger, thinner trunked, and letting in more and more sunlight as the path also widens. And you find yourself emerging at the top of this gentle slope onto the beginning of a hillside. And everywhere you look are neatly ordered rows of grapevines in various stages of growth, some only beginning to flower. Further along as you walk between the rows, you see later stages of growth with petals half fallen off the flowers. There is a fork leading off to another section with different breeds of grapevines, and a branch off this path leads to an old-fashioned thatched roofed cottage with stucco outside walls, hardened by years and years of weather and bleached by the sun to the purest white. The door is wood so grayed by sun bleaching that it looks almost like driftwood, and yet it fits its door frame quite snugly. The handle of this door is a round iron ring, larger than the width of your two hands, placed side by side with the thumbs touching. It serves as knocker as well as handle, and an impulse moves you to walk up to it and clap it against the wood precisely 3 times. An air of expectation fills you, and you step back a respectful pace as the door swings open and out steps the vineyard master. He is tall and bald, with twinkling eyes, an aristocratic-looking face, and blue eyes that twinkle with merriment. He says not a word at first, but looks you up and down with a knowing gaze. His first words are, "I know why you are here. You have lost your muse and need some inspiration. This way, please." And he briskly walks off another branch of the vineyard which you hadn't even noticed. I have a special breed of grapes in this section of the vineyard, and they are just ripe enough for me to work a bit of magic. The grapes that he points out to you are blue. Blue as sapphire. You have never seen grapes of this hue. You look at the husbandryman in puzzlement. He looks back at you. I am not your normal horticulturist. I play with genes. I play with clones. I play with shoots, and I play with life. And he takes out basket woven of reeds and begins to pick the heavy bunches of grapes and put them in there. Well, don't just stand there. Give us a hand. And almost without your will, your own hands reach up and assist to pick. And when this huge basket is full nearly to overflowing, you each take a handle and head back to the cottage. Inside, it is lit by kerosene lamps. It's like a step back into the past. For off to the right of the huge one-roomed dwelling, there is a giant vat. And to the left of that vat is a copper tub shaped very much like a bathtub. And into it, the gentleman is pouring a huge kettle of boiling water, after which he picks up a bucket of obviously cooler water to even out the temperature. Once he has done this, he reaches up to a shelf on the wall and takes down a green bottle. He pours of this bottle into the tub, and the water begins to foam and churn. Into this with your feet and legs. Wash them well. This is your wine, and so you must have a hand in its making. Thoroughly intrigued, you step into the tub, feeling the cleansing tingling of the fluid within as you scrub yourself down from just above your knees all the way down to between your toes, making sure to use the brush you find at the side to make sure there is no dirt beneath your toenails. He hands you a fluffy white towel to stand on, and another one to wipe down your legs and dry them. Ah, that's just the thing now. Over to the vat with you, it's trampling time. And you see that he has paved the floor of the cabin leading over to the vat with the same white fluffy towels, so thick and soft it almost feels like your feet are sinking into the floor. And each step you take makes the state of hypnosis you now realize you're in more profound and more deep. There is one last step up, and then the stairs to the vat, worn smooth by many pairs of feet that have trod them before you were ever thought of. You step into the vat, and the cool squishiness of the grapes beneath your feet tickles, and you laugh. That's right, do a little dance for me, the vineyard master says. And so you tramp up and down, you hop and skip and jump, and the more you do this, the more you laugh, and the more you laugh, the deeper you fall into hypnosis, into the story, into the wonderment of just what will come of this work you are doing. Eventually, there is nothing but a trodden down mass of skins and seeds. You see, the vat had holes in the bottom, and as you trampled, the juice flowed out. The mesh is so fine that not a seed could escape through, and none of the skins as well. Below the vat, if you look down and scrape away the detritus, you can see below you clear blue liquid, clear as water, blue as the bluest sea. The vineyard master offers his hand. You take it, and your depth doubles as you climb out of the vat and down the steps, down the steps, and down into your own unconscious. Walking back over to the copper tub, washing your legs, which are all blue like they were dyed with woad. All the blue comes off in the water, and you can put on your socks and shoes again as you watch him draw off the liquid from where it is standing into a series of clear pipes. It flows through straight lines. It flows through coiled lines. And finally into a very large and clear beaker, large enough to hold several gallons. And underneath it, there is a bright blue flame, heating the juice, which he assists with a little extra sugar. The heat is there to dissolve it, and this sugar is special. It has antibacterial, anti-wild yeast properties, so nothing that doesn't belong will get in. Once that is dissolved, he pulls out a packet from his pocket. My very special rapid yeast. We wait a couple of minutes till it's cool enough, and in go these little creatures. They work a lot faster than any you've seen. Indeed, the second it goes in, the blue liquid begins to froth and bubble, yet not enough to escape confinement. And watching this, you are drawn into a yet deeper trance, into yet a deeper dream. Your thoughts turn blue. The world turns blue. But the blue of comfort, the blue of joy, the blue of healing, and you drift and float there until you hear, "All set to bottle. Your help again, please." You get up, walk over to the large beaker, and you see that there are spouts with faucets attached. He hands you a bottle. You place it under a tap. You turn the faucet and allow it to fill. Once it is filled, you replace it with another, and another, and another, and suddenly the beaker is empty, and there are lots of screw-topped bottles. And he hands you a day pack. This is very much like one of those containers you may have heard of that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Let me tell you what we have just produced between us. This is the wine of inspiration. Not much is needed to feel the effect. One small glassful when you feel stuck, and the barriers break, and your muse will come. Test it now and see if I lie. And he opens one of the bottles, pours you a small glass, caps it again, and begins to put all of the bottles into the day pack. These go back with you, for they were made for and by you. In your daily life, from now on, should you need the wine of inspiration, you can go inside, just as you did to visit me. The day pack with all of the bottles will be there. You take only what you need, and if you do that, this wine will last you a good long time. Having drunk this, the barrier of creation that stood before you before you began to listen shatters like a wall of sugar glass. and the next stages of your creation are open before you like a beautiful vista. You see, it works. It always works. Whatever you need, feel free to return. This is not the only special breed of grapes. Come, tell me what you need, and we will create the proper wine together. Off with you now. The vineyard is large and I must tend it. And so you hoist this day pack onto your back and find that the weight is comfortable. Back through the vineyard the way you came, to the verge of the forest. Back down the gentle slope of the forest path, and to its head, and to your head. Reorient to your reality, and awaken from this dream as I count from 1 to 10, remembering that 0, 0, 0 is always deep sleep, and even deeper than you were in the experience, but ready to awaken now, filling with energy as I count, body refreshed, mind alert, ready to continue your day, or if you listen to it at night, perhaps having only enough energy to get to your bed and fall asleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, once more aware of the room around you. 5, half awake. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just as things come back to normal, you hear one last echo. Remember, only a small glass is necessary. Enjoy the wine.